Right, probably the last stage of the game. Like a switch puzzle, maybe. Oh yeah. Golden key. Doesn't look like there's anything happening from the switches. Probably need the fourth one before we can do anything. Ooh, yeah. Speed is what we want here. That way at least someone is attacking without me having to do the hits. Green door. Like we have a blue door or a green door at the moment. Nothing happened. There was no sound. We have... Oh. For fuck's sakes. This platform is moving, it wasn't earlier. Maybe something shifted here. No, we have a green door, blue door, and two of these. I think these are... basically, you need to trigger something to open them. There's no key to them. Pretty sure we need the fourth switch to solve this. Otherwise, what's the point of the fourth switch? There was nothing, well, I didn't actually check the lower right hand side. After I've pressed the switches, I mean. As far as you can see, nothing's different. What do you expect me to do, game? Actually, don't need Ifrit for this. No. Colored doors need keys. Life-sucking son of a bitch. Maybe some of the doors will work on torches. No. Still, I'm not sure what else I can. This isn't like. This is just a few goddamn measly rooms. Isn't a gigantic place where I even have an option to go to other places. What the hell do you expect me to do? There's no crouch areas where I could possibly go. Can't interact with that. I need a blue key or a green key. The room to the north had, I think, 3 switches. I pressed all of them. You can't repress them, so we did the right thing. But nothing happened at the 3 keys. One of the platforms started moving. The one at the end started moving back to the front of the place. So I'm assuming you have to come back, probably. But to what purpose? I might as well lit the torch. I can't really think of anything else to do. Difference? No. Never is. I don't get it. I do not get it. It's not like I can do all that much here. Maybe jumping down from one of these locations isn't actually a death sentence, but these all look like the same pit to me. There's a difference between them, I'm not seeing it. Ooh. What did I do? This was definitely not open previously. I played with the switches and I lit up some torches. That's pretty much the only things I've done. But I never got a... Usually when you mess with things, you get a sort of a different type of a sound. Sort of an indicating that something happened. So... nothing like that this time. So it's either the switches or it's the torches. I'm not sure which. I don't honestly care. I'm just glad I didn't get stuck here. At least too badly. But this is a worrisome indication. If the game has similar level of puzzles for me to still solve, I'm not sure I'm up to the task. a shadow spirit here. But that, no, I can't just jump up there with shadow spirit. I need something else. I'm sort of trying to figure out, get my head wrapped around what exactly am I seeing. This is a 3D environment, but I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing. They're on a higher elevation, but what is to the right of me? Is it on a lower elevation or a higher? I have no fucking clue. I'm assuming higher, otherwise I could just jump in there. Although that's not always the case. Also, we have to be careful with things like torches from this point on. I can't miss details. I'm not sure if the torch was the answer, but it might have been. Can't exactly ignore the possibility. And yes, spirit too. Spirit here. Hello. I have too much crap. I don't see anything interesting here. The torches were already lit anyway. Can't jump there. The death sentence? No, holy shit. That's where we must go. This is some bones crafted. No, it's not bone scrap. We need to go the... Oh fuck, which way do we have to go? This can't be anything to do with the blue door. So we have to come back here. That has to do it, whatever it is. So, moving these three, I should be able to move, open pathway there. Okay. I'll still go where the green door was. I'm guessing this is where we must go, so the green would be the next or something. Oh shit. Maybe. Since we're here, we might as well take a look. Right. Blue key. Okay, so we need to do the trip again. How does the green key relate to this then? And I'm also now fairly convinced that it's the lit torches that opened the initial path, because the switches opened this path, so it makes no sense for them to open the other path too. I want a F-read here with me. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wrong button. I think the green door was here. Boss, maybe? Cracking flame. This is slightly dangerous. I don't see a way to dodge these attacks. That it? Ooh. Death. We need a better bow. Atomic bow is great, but only has a single shot. I'll ditch one of the... no, I'll ditch the bombs. Omega, 30 shots. Probably a good boss fight weapon. Currently holding on to that one. So I went to press all three at the same time. Probably. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it seems like we must have Shadow for some reason. Shadow Spirit. Can probably do this with bombs. We're quick enough. I don't recall a red door. We have a blue key though, and I do know where to go for that. Move, move, move. What the fuck? What the fuck? I already get the chest, probably. I mean, I already jumped there once. Why can't I jump there another time? Or was there... Are you shitting me? Did death from this? No, it's not accessible. It's a shadow. Or has something just changed drastically? The shadow does not allow you to get here. That is interesting. It basically saves your life, I guess. You lose a little bit of magic power in exchange for not dying, usually, but in this case, it actually prevents you from going where you must go to progress the game. So you can't enter here with the shadow. That is a new level of bullshit I didn't think about. Imagine if I had tried to, or accidentally drop into that hole with the shadow spirit on. The only logical conclusion at that point, assuming you haven't learned about the shadow abilities before, there's nothing mentioned by the way in the tutorial about shadow about that, is that it's just a death trap. Just a instant death pit like everything else. So it would probably never occur to you to jump there any afterwards, you would be stuck. I suppose in modern times with in the internet it doesn't matter that much, but when the game came out, I wonder if there's anyone who actually failed to complete the game because we need a fire spirit. Yeah, there's something there. Probably jump down, right. Was there fire here? There has to be a better way to get fire. Bombs? Yeah, we don't actually need an F8 for this. Bombs will do it job. Always forget that. Leaving that crystal there is probably a good idea in general. You can use it to summon the shadow. What the fuck is that? I sort of don't dare not to kill everything because if they have something like a key or something, I don't want to get stuck. This is so goddamn tricky compared to what I've seen before. This seems like previously I feel like the game progressed reasonably. Like the main path forward doesn't require you to realize any big secrets. Now I don't agree with that anymore. Seems like you need to find decent secrets to make progress with the main plot. So proper secret at this stage are probably very tough to figure out. Need the right. Must have Mr. Shadow, otherwise it's impossible to make progress. do have a mirror, but I sort of don't want to use it when it's very trivial to get the shadow guy otherwise. There's other means. I'll take it back. How do you get there? Keep in mind that you can't actually get here with the shadow because it'll keep saving your life. Then you try to drop down. Oh, for fuck's sake. So we have to find a way for in here to just summon it. I mean, I can do it, that's not actually a problem. But it'll be my last and only mirror to be spent on it. Said I'm not sure what else I could possibly do either, so has to be done. Come on, drop bombs. At least get the freed. Let me try something else. We have the shadow call. So we can use this, no problem. But I was thinking, is there a difference between just dumping the item here versus using it? We had 2 items before with the similar thing, but I forgot to test it then. Pretty sure it occurred to me then too. And the item is gone, so it's a one-use thing, definitely. Difference, yes. Fairly significant difference, I'd say. Oh shit. How do you get that? How good are we with the gems? 11 on the plant, 8 shadow, 6 fire, 7 water. The plant creature is probably fairly effective if I actually used it. Should be more than anything else. We can do the similar thing with the plant too. Actually, I'll at least see what the hell do you get from the plant. Elixir. Okay, that's quite nice. Wonder what you get from the two others. Wait, why did I come here? I don't think I've ever used a special attack ability of the plant. We see it once. The game slowed down significantly. Magic is still running. So I have no idea what actually happened. Some wind here. It's probably pretty much endless stream of them. There's no telling really. I have to make progress soon anyway, no matter what. Otherwise I'm just gonna drain resources by staying here. So you get maybe a couple of healing items here and there. That's about it. The plant is actually blocking me more than anything else. Yeah, so technically I suppose decent idea. Practically it's just a gigantic pain in the ass. Okay, let me save here and see what happens. More plant power, god damn it. Ah, that was a close call. Right. I've been waiting for you. It's been an interesting game, but now it's time to finish it. You cannot stop the revival of the creator of the silver armlet, my master Ajito. Shadow creatures of some sort. Precious cheese. Well done. I must reward you for your persistence, gold armlet. I reward you with your death. The poison doesn't seem to actually do anything. Why aren't you attacking, you piece of shit plant? Flowers doesn't seem to do shit against the actual enemy, the boss enemy. You won. I misjudged your superior abilities, but you will not defeat Ajito. He has returned to resume his throne. Just can't get over the fact of how worthless the plant summon is. It's good where you don't particularly need the spirit to cover you anyway. So maybe against rushes of enemies, regular enemies, but against bosses it's terrible. And I don't even know what the main attack is supposed to be. I know it's a poison in the cloud, but it doesn't do anything to anyone. It freezes the game or slows it down at least. I can't do anything. British classic boss. And I still have the goddamn plant. How the fuck do you always hit? Shots coming close. So, to me it looks like there's a small window of opportunity where it's actually vulnerable. Outside of that, it's just impossible to do anything to it. I wish I had any other spirit besides this. How many charges? 7. They had to be reserved for him. Okay, it wasn't that bad. I was expecting a lot worse.
Oh, it's you, Ali. It's me, your elder sister, Gwyn. I heard your voice, but I could do nothing. I was possessed. Finally, I got back my memories. I feel the power filling the world. Thank you, my master. You saved our world.
Okay, the spirits are picking to me.
But now we must remain here. I am proud to have both fought for you and beside you. You shall be remembered forever. How had fun time. Now this warp will bring you home. Goodbye, friend Ali.
Ali, wait. I destroyed things and killed people. Even though I was possessed and controlled, I must make atonement for my sin. Ali, tell this to everyone. Akito and the silver armlet minion have been destroyed forever. They will never endanger Oasis again. Now let me say goodbye and thank you, my brother.
What a lot of bullshit. We just outright got sent back, lost the armlet and got sent back to lie to our own people. Clearly the armlet is still there, it's just a matter of time before another fuck up comes out along and starts causing trouble with it. Couldn't you just say that you defeated the bad guy and the spirits remained to seal the armlets or something? That's more or less exactly what seems to be going on, no? Is she really going to have a plan to destroy them or something? No, just seal them up, yep. Problem not solved. Thus the gold and silver armlets fell dormant. After saying farewell to his companions, Ali returned to his world and succeeded to the throne. The kingdom of Oasis prospered peacefully under the wise reign of King Ali. Well, at least we got a little bit more than an ending screen. Right. This is a fine game. If I would have a complaint about this, is that it's too long for the combat system. You basically have. Technically, I suppose it would have worked if you do something better with the spirits, but it's just mostly used for the puzzles, and they're not much of a puzzle either because of the limitation, I suppose, how the elements interact. A modern game using similar element type system would probably be a lot better. But the problem is, the fighting is so samey. Maybe with a controller you could pull off a couple of special moves here and there, but it would still be more or less just hacking through hundreds of enemies that honestly don't pose any real threat to you. It's the bosses that might cause you a headache, or the instant death hits, things like that, but it's not really the fighting that's the real problem. Especially since a lot of areas seem to either have a way to farm food, or you have the passive regeneration going. So even if the health doesn't regenerate, you can always summon the water sprite to heal you. So there are ways. This is not a bad thing, it's just you can't throw trash at the player and be a interesting challenge. It's a chore you have to do to make progress in a system like this. The combat would have to be more interesting and varied for it to actually be worth playing just for the fighting. That's what I'm saying. And it isn't. To be fair though, compared to the compatriots of the time, I don't think this fares badly. Only badly maybe in the sense that the special abilities, how they're used, is sort of sucky. There's a lot of games like this that have more or less a typical magic spell system, where a lot of variety of spells, and honestly, it works much better. Here, it's just a dice roll more or less. If the enemy character or the spirit you control happen to interact in the way when you activate the ability, that it actually has a decent chance of hitting it. So instead of having the typical magic system where you control things perfectly and time things perfectly, you have this AI wandering around and you hopefully get things done, and it just adds frustration and simplifies the combat system because you don't want to use it. It's shit. So the combat your character does, the physical combat, is the thing that's very reliable, easy to use, and does the job anyway. So why bother with the complicated magic that's great usually to begin with? That said, I didn't mind playing this through once, because I have frankly too many sources of entertainment these days and not enough time. I have very little interest in actually combing through a game like this. It would have to be more interesting gameplay wise. So kudos for the game for having all the specialty places, hidden secrets and all that, but you'd have to really be into a game like this to bother with that. It's still a positive that it actually exists. So probably one of the better action RPGs Genesis had to offer, though. Can't think. I certainly enjoyed certain games better. I enjoyed sort of Vermilion better. I enjoyed, I think, Landstalker better too, although that's an if. This has a much better combat system. But since the combat can't usually be all that amazing, it's usually the role playing elements that matter. And I suppose I lean more toward those. This is this is more. I wouldn't say better combat system than sort of Vermilion. I feel sort of Vermilion, to some extent at least, allows you to play with a few different ways depending on what type of abilities you want to rely on. In addition, the very simplistic combat, physical combat. So it's more interesting of a system, even though the physical combat is not nearly as flashy or as varied as in this game. But I don't know. It's hard to say that this would be in any way a weak game. Probably still, yeah, probably one of the better ones you could find on the Genesis action role playing game wise. But and there's the big but, and I'm trying to figure out where the big but comes from. I think this is more or less feels like playing a beat 'em up in a way. Except instead of having the beat 'em up last a couple of hours, pretty much maximum they usually do, this lasts 3 to 4 times that and has the extra secrets for you to comb through. So it, it outlasts its welcome. I think that's what it is. And it more or less functions as a beat 'em up. You walk around and you use the same attack combo pretty much over and over and over again to defeat the entire game. A couple boss fights aside, and that's it. So I don't know. I don't know where you would basically cut off the few hours, and would you even want to cut it anyway? Again, because it's designed for a age of gaming that no longer exists. It just doesn't, not even close. So it's hard to bitch about the game because it has too much content and too many secrets that don't really matter. I feel maybe the game may play loop doesn't really work in that you don't really have a reason to do all the fighting and interesting stuff. You don't want to fight. You have to fight to get forward or have to fight to get keys. But with the game with so much fighting, I feel that's a problem because that's like 95%, maybe more of the goddamn content. So if you are in a situation in a game like this where you don't actually really want to do the fighting, something's wrong. You have to incentivize the player to keep fighting somehow. And here, I don't know if it exists. If you accept the fact that the player doesn't have to fight, and that's fine, why have this many trash fights basically continually and enemies respawning over and over and over again? So yeah, it's just I don't think this type of game anymore appeals to me. I'm not sure if it ever did all that much. It just something in it sucks. Like a typical role-playing game where you have a lot of trash fights. I hate it because that's I can't recall any game ever where that would be the strong point of a game. Ever. It's usually good quests or some interesting designed fights. Those are the real reasons you sort of play the game. Maybe immersion in games like Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls games in general. So you just fuck about doing whatever, collect herbs, pretend you live in some dead guy's shack you murdered 20 hours ago, whatever. But those don't work for the random fighting either. They're usually a pain in the ass and sort of get tedious very quickly in those games too. They get tedious in every game. So I just I guess my tolerance for these games where that's like 90% maybe more of the gameplay is uh, is wearing a bit thin. So I might be too harsh on this game. Uh, yeah, maybe. Still, I can't. Doesn't change the fact that I don't particularly care for it these days.